So not everything that we do as a team is necessarily going to be a really official Word file. A lot of times we're taking notes, we're brainstorming, we're drawing things. How do we share that information? Teams also provides a really neat way to do that through its interaction with Microsoft OneNote. So I want to hop in and break down how to use that and use it effectively with your team today. So to get OneNote to interact with Teams, it's actually very simple. So we go back to our team channel. So I'm here in general, and there's this plus button right up here. So if you remember, there's posts, files. Now I can add in other stuff specifically to it. There's a lot of different options that you can interact with. I'm not going to cover all of them in this series, but I want to talk about OneNote. So if I press that button, it will create a notebook for this team. I can either add a notebook I already have, or I can create a new notebook. So we'll call this one example. And this will create a OneNote notebook specifically for this channel. So everybody who's in the general channel can now share this notebook. And it will show up and we can interact with it directly in Teams. So I can take notes for a meeting or I can take minutes directly in here, and everybody who is in this team will be able to see it instantly. They don't have to go somewhere else for their notes. We can all have them right here. And if you look at this, it breaks down very similar to what would in OneNote itself, where I can add new pages or I can add new sections to the notebook and run them like usual. Now, it is worth noting, as I said, to remember that if you make a notebook like this, everyone who is in this team or in this channel will be able to have access to it and use it. And I can actually see who did what. So if Mary came in and typed out a bunch of information, I would be able to see a line down the side of it and the name of her or maybe her initials, so I can know who's working in what parts of the notebook. Now, one of my favorite features with this is we can actually open it in the app. So if I open this in OneNote, it will add it as a different journal in my OneNote notebook itself. So I can have my normal notebooks. I have one for work. I have one for, personal notes. I have one for just kind of family notes. And now I can have one specifically for this team in my OneNote. So I don't even have to get into Teams. And if I edit something in it through the OneNote app, it will automatically populate here. Like I said, this is probably the most useful if we're trying to run minutes or take notes in a meeting. This is a great place to share all that information. Or if we're just doodling. Sometimes when I'm brainstorming, I'll use OneNote and my stylus to draw stuff out. It's a great place to be very visual in my ideas, and then it will be saved right here for everyone to access. This is a great way to share that information, and we can do all kinds of stuff with it. We might need to do a series at some point on OneNote's functionality itself, because this does require some knowledge of it, but we can do everything from make simple notes to bullets and numbers. And I usually like to do this before I will make an actual formal document when we're just brainstorming out. I can also add all kinds of tags. So I can go, here's my questions that come up. Here's my to-do list. Here's stuff that needs to be read or projects. I can tag that information to keep it organized. A lot of times what I do is I put my meeting agendas in OneNote so that people can see what we're going to talk about before the meeting itself even happens. It's right there. It's already saved. And at the start of the meeting, I can say, hey, everybody open your OneNote here in this file. Or here in this channel, and you can see all of the notes of where we're going to go today. So it's a great place for very quick access information that doesn't necessarily need to be in an entire Word file. I suggest playing around with it and just seeing how it functions for you. And I think that you'll find that it's very useful. Next time, I want to talk about Planner, and that will be our final video. And Planner is a great way to stay organized with tasks and what people need to be doing. It's a little bit more complicated, but you'll find it to be extremely useful. And as always, thank you for being an MORHA member. Catch you next time.